right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, his cash sucked back in by an ATM. The warning for others. And Heated, the name of one of Beyonce's latest tracks and a perfect description of her adoring fans. The St. Louis Beehive braving the heat.
I'm dripping. It's very hot, but I'm not going to complain. We're blessed.
And the heat is our top story tonight. It's still steamy in St. Louis. How much longer the dangerous heat lasts and the cumulative impacts of these hot days.
A live look tonight at downtown St. Louis and in St. Charles. It's 10 o'clock and it is 89 degrees outside still as this region remains under an excessive heat warning. We are in a weather alert. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Temperatures will climb back into the hundreds tomorrow. Add in the humidity, and it could feel as hot as 120 in some areas. Let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with that Weather First forecast.
You know, we had some pockets today where the heat index was probably close to 120 degrees. Officially in St. Louis, 114, 115 for the top heat index. Our temperatures are not cooling much tonight. We're still mostly in the 80s. Even outlying areas are still in the low to mid 80s right now. And if you've been out at all today, you know how humid and muggy it is. That is still creating a heat index in St. Louis at 10 o'clock of 103 degrees. We'll be lucky if the heat index drops below 90 degrees overnight tonight. And by tomorrow, 9 a.m., it'll already be back to 99. It'll feel like it's 112 to 115 degrees across the metro area again tomorrow with locally higher numbers in some spots. So this is a cumulative thing. You know, yesterday was the first day, today's the second. We still have to get through Thursday, if not Friday, with this dangerous heat. The peak heat index during the afternoon hours, 110 to 120 degrees. 120-degree heat indices will likely be found close to the cornfields, and then a break is coming as we head towards the weekend. But this is some dangerous heat, and it takes that effect on our body. It has that effect because it adds up over several days. Excessive heat warning continues at least through Thursday night.
All right, Scott, and right now, pop superstar Beyonce is performing inside the climate-controlled dome at America's Center.
But Queen Bee's fans brave the heat for hours, standing in line outside for merch and to be the first inside. Our Laura Barczewski was out there with them and joins us live outside the dome.
Mike and Ann, it was very, very hot, and I'm sure she's still cranking up the heat inside the dome. But despite the heat, fans, the Beehive, could not stay away from their Queen Bee. Hey, everybody ready? Say, hey, Miss Carter! Hey, Miss Carter!
Beyonce fans were heated in more ways than one ahead of her Renaissance tour stop in STL.
Heated. Moist. It's real wet in the air, but like it's fine. As you can see, I have my little upper lip is sweating, but it's giving Blue Ivy at the Tampa show.
Yeah, and I got my hot pants, you know, and I get the angle.
Many people prepared for the hot and long lines with water and portable fans in hand, even at the merch trailers.
We don't need anybody falling out. You know, I think it's important to keep hydrated. Of course, if you're having adult beverages, as well as make sure you drink your water. So definitely stay hydrated, stay safe, be smart while you're out here, and have a good time.
Fans arrived hours ahead of time, and the line kept growing.
Oh, it's hot, and we've been waiting. Some people been waiting since 7 a.m. So yeah, we're ready.
A little bit, about an hour or so. Just about an hour.
But to these fans, the heat was nothing compared to what they hoped to experience inside those doors.
Honestly, it's an experience. Like, it's like a life-changing experience. Yeah, my mom said she went, it was like the whiz to her. So I'm like, I have to go experience this. So I came, I flew out, and I'm excited.
It's Beyonce. She is the singer of our generation, the greatest performer walking on this planet. I saw her in Nashville, and it was amazing. So super excited to see it again.
Beyonce really brings people together, and that's the thing about a Beyonce concert is it brings everybody. It's inclusive, you know. So yes, I'm really excited.
When we were out here at 5 o'clock, it was well over 90 degrees, felt like 100, and now still well over 80 degrees, meaning that it's very important that you stay hydrated, especially with those hotter temperatures ahead this week. Reporting live from downtown St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
The St. Louis Urban League has a cool team trying to help people stay hydrated and survive the dangerous and stifling heat. And new tonight, our Robert Townsend shows us how serving our streets is more than a catchy slogan.
This week, a grueling heat wave is expected to bake the St. Louis area, and that's why the Urban League's Serving Our Streets team will be on the move for a potentially life-saving mission.
And we all know that this heat could be very dangerous out here, just draining you and your fluids.
Driver Antonio Johnson and his co-workers will load up this van and other vehicles with hundreds of cases of cold Gatorade and bottled water right around the city and randomly pass out the free drinks to people in the triple-digit heat.
We connecting directly with the people.
The Serving Our Streets crew will descend on neighborhoods in Baden, Hyde Park, Jeff Vanderloo, Kingsway East, and West in North St. Louis. They'll be on the lookout for sweltering seniors, hot homeless folks, and anyone trying to survive the oppressive heat.
If they see someone out and about and the heat is stifling and we see children, they're going to stop and address those needs.
This comes from my food pantry.
Pastor Alfred Gainey's Lily of the Valley Missionary Baptist Church donated 20 cases of Gatorade toward the project.
It's all about helping one another. And anything that my church in Lily of the Valley can do, we're all for it.
The 7-man crew will officially hit the streets on Tuesday morning. They will ride around all day long, keeping people cool. Dedicated Urban League employees serving their community for several years now, even on those hot, hazy days of summer.
We want to see everybody up moving just to help out this community.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
The Serving Our Streets team tell us they've served more than 5,000 people during a similar heat wave last summer. For more information on cooling centers and how to stay safe in these dangerous temperatures, just text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355 and we'll send some links to your phone.
Tonight, St. Louis police are investigating after a woman was stabbed to death just blocks away from the Del Mar Loop. It happened this afternoon at the gas mart at Del Mar and Goodfellow. Police do have a suspect in custody. Tonight, a former first-grade teacher in Illinois faces federal charges. He tried to solicit child sexual abuse material from a 13-year-old girl. Federal prosecutors say 25-year-old Jonathan Vilmer of New Baden sent sexually explicit messages to the girl and requested photos on Snapchat. Investigators say they also found messages to other minors. Vilmer taught at New Baden Elementary and coached girls' sports for the district.
Developing tonight, former President Donald Trump announced on social media just a few hours ago he will surrender to authorities in Georgia on Thursday. He will be booked at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta. That's where he and 18 others face racketeering charges over allegations they tried to overturn the 2020 election. The announcement comes just hours after a judge set the former president's bond at $200,000. Well, when you withdraw cash out of an ATM and the money comes out, sometimes you need to act fast, very fast.
That is the warning from a South St. Louis man. He tells the I-Team his ATM took back the money he withdrew. Now he can't get a refund. Senior investigative reporter Paula Vassan digs into what you need to know to make sure you don't lose your money.
Look at the neighborhood. I mean, for crying out loud, we're not in Creve Coeur. We're not in Ladue here. We live on paycheck to paycheck around here for the most part.
Outside a convenience store in South St. Louis, Jim Hinkle says he's been swindled by what's inside.
It's just one more example of the rich taking advantage of the poor.
It started with this ATM. It's where he came a few months ago as a favor for a neighbor.
Who is handicapped, he's homebound, and he does his banking through an ATM. And he wanted cash out.
Hinkle had to withdraw $800, but could only take out $200 at a time. He was not quick enough.
So while I'm turning the money around and counting it, the other 200 were sitting in the slot, and all of a sudden, the money was gone.
Gone back into the machine, he says, with no warning. But his receipt showed he got the money, when his neighbor's bank account shows the opposite. And without a paper trail, he says he has no proof. It's his word against the ATM company.
They should at least notify you that you didn't get your money. But instead it just says, yes, you got the money and everything's fine, which spells thievery to me.
So we put the ATM to the test with a timer. Exactly how long does it take for money that comes out of the slot to get sucked back in? With our cameras rolling, Hinkle withdrew $20. then waited to see how long it would take to go back inside. We clocked 30 seconds.
What do you want people watching this right now to know?
Grab your money. Don't worry about counting it after you get your money.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has this advice. If you're missing money from your ATM, contact your bank or credit union right away. But Hinkle says that's been difficult. He and his neighbor have been told it's the ATM company's responsibility to refund the money. We reached out to the owner of the ATM for answers. A spokesperson with NCR Corporation, which oversees Allpoint ATMs nationwide, declined to comment.
It sounds like you've just been through so many hurdles.
It's discouraging on all levels.
We contacted the ATM Industry Association. A spokesperson tells us that when cash is dispensed and then goes back inside the machine, it's for security. They also say it's likely the responsibility of the ATM operator to give back the cash or issue a credit back to the customer. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
Has this happened to you? Our I-Team wants to hear from you. You can leave a voice message by calling 314-444-5231 or email Paula, tips@ksk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
New tonight, a man sent to prison as a teen and then became an author while behind bars is out with a new memoir. Tonight, Bobby Bostic discussed his new book, Humbled to the Dust, Still I Rise, at the Florissant Valley branch of the St. Louis County Library. He was released on parole back in November after spending more than 27 years in prison for an armed robbery he committed at the age of 16.